This is Gus from Bifter. We're a doom sludge band from Sydney, and we're putting out our first track off our upcoming record. The single's called March of the Imp, and the record's going to be called First Impressions of Hell, which that will be coming out in full around April. So, yeah.
Fantastic,
Was that
brother.
all?
Thanks for joining us today.
Thanks for having me, man. Appreciate it.
Worries, as you say, man, Bifter are premiering the music video for your new single, March of the Imp, via Heavy on February the 11th, with a single being released on this Friday, mate. So, how you feeling about it?
Oh, we're stoked, mate. It's been, as you know, in this business, it's a long time coming from when you start recording to when you start putting stuff out. So it's been a long road, and we're super proud of what we've managed to produce here with this upcoming record. So we're frothing to get it out on Tuesday, to be honest.
Nice. And tell us about the song from a musical point of view and what you were going for with it.
Yeah. So March of the Imp is pretty. Well, our mates in Mourners described it as sort of dungeon sludge. Um, and it's a kind of a cool little song. It kind of builds from the start to the end, but it's essentially describing a story of a battle between the human beings and the ungodly creatures that are the imp. And we've got two vocalists in the band, Rory and Shrek, and they do a really cool what do you call it, like back and forth in between the verses to describe the story. So yeah, it all kind of builds up to a really heavy, sludge ridden ending. So yeah, it's not a song, it's not a TikTok song where you can sort of just listen to the first 5 seconds, but I definitely recommend taking the whole journey.
Nice. And the music video must be pretty special too, mate, if you're making its way an extra 4 days for it. What's so good about that?
um, Well, we actually had a sick time filming it. We filmed it out. I'm from Malabar in New South Wales here, and we filmed it out one of the old war tunnels from around where I grow up. So it was pretty special for me to film out there, and we made a really cool storyline, which we'll leave for Tuesday. But um, our videographer man Cal Cinema has just made like a phenomenal little clip for us, which is just the perfect amount of tongue in cheek, balanced out with some really heavy riffing doom scenes and some bit of murder, bit of violence, and it's all a bit of fun in the end. So um, yeah, we just can't. To put it in perspective, we filmed it all in one day, and like Cal was so excited about the project and how fun it was to film that he went home and just edited the whole thing in one night. So
Wow.
we're yeah, we're really happy with it, and we think it just like accentuates like the album in general and like the vibe we're going for it. So we've sort of come out hitting with one of our heavier heavier tracks to start for the first single because we just wanted to hit the ground running.
Nice. Now, much of the imp is taken from your new album, First Impressions to Hell, which comes out in April. So, is it a good sonic representation of what to expect?
It is, it definitely is, but I also think the best thing about the album is, and about Bifter's sound in general, is that like we're pretty unique in we kind of um we weave a bit of a tapestry in between different genres, especially like in within one song we could be go we pride ourselves on doing some cool change ups, whether it be like old school traditional doom riff breakdowns or like utilizing our two vocals to like really give a sludgy edge to some of our breakdowns, whereas we've still got some fast stoner riffs in there as well. And we kind of pride ourselves on blending all that together, and that's what you're going to get in the album. It's like it's metaphor. We're trying to make it kind of metaphorical, like first impressions of hell. You've just died. You're at the gates. That's essentially the artwork of the record, and that's kind of what we wanted it to metaphorically be like. You're holding that record, and you're about to go on a journey. And if nothing else, that this record definitely is that.
Cool. Now, First Impressions to Hell is actually a concept album as well, bro. So, run us through what's happening.
Yeah, well, as I just mentioned, we've worked with Rock Sadistic, this old school heavy metal artist from Sydney. He's just been an absolute legend. full had a bit of a meeting with him about the concept of it and what I wanted out of the art. And he just made this amazing oil painting for us of this like dude at the gates of hell, just like surrounded by all these like hell demons and shit. Um, so it's kind of like if when you're holding that record, we wanted it to be like you're transforming yourself into that person, like you're standing at the gates, you're about to, yeah, undertake that journey. And yeah, we've got like samples and a bunch of cool stuff like mixed in throughout the whole album as well, which kind of makes it, yeah, a bit of an atmosphere as well. It's not just like a couple of songs strung together. Like it's yeah, it's a
Yeah.
full concept runner.
Is it about one man's journey into hell, basically?
Yeah, that's it. It's just one man, like one man or one person's. As soon as you've died, it's like you're at the gates of hell, and like every song kind of drifts in and out of genres, and even as I mentioned before, within the song we shift between genres, and that's kind of our songwriting style. So I think it gives it like a really like how do I describe it like a movie style, like you're reading a movie score or something, and it's like moves through stages as you go through the record.
And where does March of the Imp fit into the story?
March of the Imp is the first song on the second side, so it has a pretty haunting little what did I say before, the sample intro to the second side of the record, and then that's the first hitter. Um, and then that kind yeah, it's, as I said, we kind of flow up and down in between some like heavy dooming, slow paced sort of, I'd say, doom sludge tracks mixed in with some like stoner rock, heavy but faster riffing stuff. And we also have a lot of interplay between the vocals as well, with like Rory taking the lead on some songs. Shrek takes the lead on a few of the other songs, but then they work together on a few, like on Much of the Imp as well. So
And
yeah.
does it make it difficult deciding what singles to release because they all tell different parts of the story? Like,
That was that was definitely a big factor in it, because we got there's a lot of like, that's one thing about the album. Everyone's really proud of like all the songs. So we had a real hard time like picking what would be best, especially for a single as well. You're like, oh, don't want to put the 7 minute super doom track that's called Belly of the Beast, like at the end of, which is at the end of the record. It's probably one of the best tracks, but maybe not suited to a single. But then we're like, we still don't want to go and put it one of the 2-3 minute like tracks out there, because we feel like maybe that's not enough time to really grasp like what we're going for on the album. And like in terms of the mixing and just the vibe we got off March of the Imp in the studio, like I think that's what it came down to, just the heaviness and just the dual interplay between the vocals that we achieved on that track. I think that was like kind of what made us decide in the end to put that out first and just come out swinging.
right, so when it comes to playing them live, are you going to have to play the songs in chronological order from the album, or will they still make sense out of order?
No, they're not. It's not like, yeah, it's, you don't have to listen to them in the album order to get the vibe of the theme. It's kind of just like thematics throughout the songs. But yeah, they're definitely, you're able to listen to, yeah, any song that you want really. As in our live show, we do have a few that link up like the album, but we also have changed it around a bit just to make the flow of the live set a little bit better. So yeah,
Right.
either way.
Speaking of live, bro, you've got a big couple of months coming up. So we're going to start with your first international support for Sweden's Greenleaf on February 22nd, mate. Like, that's a
Yes, sir.
that's got to make you pretty happy.
Oh, mate, we were stoked when we got the call up for that one, and shout out to Anthony from Your Mate Bookings for putting us on. I actually sent him the first mixes because he was looking for supports. He announced the show, and I was like, "Oh no, I'm gonna have to get in quick." But we only had the mixes of the album, so I shot them off to him, and he was like, yeah, because he was, yeah, just stoked with it and gave us some really good feedback, which got us even more G to like get the masters done. So he essentially decided to give us a crack off that, and since we've got the masters of the album back, and we've been like trying to pick up a few gigs and build this little record tour. It's stuff's just been coming out of the woodwork since then. So very stoked with how the live shows are going.
Nice. And you've got a few other live shows coming up too, man. You want to tell us about them?
Yeah, man, we're actually gearing up to play the official party, the official after party of the Belco Bowl Jam in 2 weeks, which is down in Canberra. It's like the biggest skateboard competition in Australia, pretty much. It's been running for 25 years. So we're like super privileged to be playing the official after party for that. It's just going to be absolutely loose. We cannot wait. And then after that, we've got the Greenleaf one. Then we've got in March, we're playing a Sydney show at the Botany View Hotel on March the 8th with Scum Fu and Nunchucker Superfly. Then we are getting a few tour shows to be announced, Upper Coast and a few rural shows locked in for late in March. Then April rolls around and we're getting up to Queensland. Hopefully, we're just confirming a show early April up there as we speak. And then we've got Sunburn Stoner Doom down in Melbourne, the ultimate festival for us, pretty much. And we're dropping the full album there. So
Very nice.
psyched on that.
Very nice. And where's the best place for people to follow Bifter and get hold of your stuff?
Yeah, you can check us out. Either just I'd say just go to our Instagram.com/BifterBand. And then we've got our Linktree link there. You can find all. We're on Spotify, Apple Music. We're going to get the Bandcamp up and running with our new merch shortly, and you can find all the links on there.
Fantastic, Gus. Well, thanks very much for your time, bro. Been a pleasure speaking with you. The song March of the Imp is out this Friday on your streaming platforms. The single will be, the music video will be premiered via Heavy on Tuesday at midday. So keep an eye out for all of that.